Did you know that your brain uses math in order for you to be able to say, I'm no good at math? Can you walk? Can you talk? Can you play an instrument? Can you enjoy listening to music? Do you play any kind of games? All of these tasks require complex math skills. How about this? Does your heart beat? Can you breathe? Do you eat? Is your body alive? Again, all of these tasks require very complex math skills. Because I have some experience teaching math, I will often hear people say, I'm no good at math. To this I say, did you know that scientists can hear your brain code? They can, but our brains are performing math computations so much more than calculus that our brain code sounds like gibberish to scientists. It's like a newborn baby listening to calculus. But here's the funny thing about teaching a newborn baby calculus. Newborn babies' brains are already performing math computations far more complex than calculus. Why are our brains using such advanced math? You literally can't be alive if your brain can't do the math. Can you throw a ball? Can you drive a car? Are you navigating social media right now? Not only does your brain know higher math, it also measures things very accurately. Our brains have their own measuring systems. But why can't we just use our brain measurements? It's like trying to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius or kilometers into miles. Some people can measure things just by looking at them. It takes practice because you have to convert your brain's measurements to whatever measuring system your society uses. But Aaron, I still can't learn math. Do you know how many people that I have been able to convince otherwise? How did I do that? I convince people to give it a try. Guess what happens? Every person who has ever tried to learn math or reading or science or history or art or whatever has made progress, and oftentimes significant progress. I worked with a second grader once, bottom of her class in reading. When I met her, she was the sweetest kid, but she would say, I'm just not very smart. I did the eye trick on her. I made another video explaining my smart eyes trick. 17th video from the bottom, plain green shirt, says smart eyes in the title. I did that trick on her, and I told her that I could see the smarts in her eyes. It made her smile, but she didn't seem very convinced. I said, okay, here's what we'll do. Whenever you have a problem where you can't do it, raise your hand and we'll see if we can figure it out together. She liked that idea. My favorite thing to do is talk people through their problems. I ask questions. As they answer the questions, I tailor the next question based on their response. I did this with my dear sweet friend. We would talk about what she was seeing and how to get to the answer. At first she said, oh, a lot. But after a few weeks or a month, I would be talking her through a problem and she would say, wait, I think I can do it now. Sometimes she'd still get it wrong. Sometimes we'd keep talking about it, but a lot of times she would say, wait, I can do it. All right, I would say, work your magic. And when she did it on her own, oh my goodness, that kid was unstoppable. She went from the very bottom of her class to being the very top of her class. And not just in reading. Consider this, word problems. Stay with me. Do you know what I hear when this stuff starts going on? Two trains leave from two different stations. Each one goes different speeds. When will they meet? What did I just hear? Two trains leave from diff blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah. I hear it too, same as you. You know how I like to answer those kinds of questions? Two trains leave from two different stations. I dispatch two fighter jets. How long before there aren't two trains anymore? And should I use missiles or guns when I get to them? One of the awesomest things about math isn't that you can figure out when two trains are gonna meet. The awesomest thing about math is that you can actually figure out things that you need to know, like how to set up pet food orders online so that you don't have to keep going to the app to reorder it, and so that you can take advantage of that 15% off deal on automated ordering. The point of math is to take the information you have and come up with a solution that makes your life easier. But Aaron, I don't ever use algebra. Oh yeah? That pet food order? It can be easily represented by an equation. How many things do you do every day that can be represented by equations? The truth is that just about everything you do is done by math equations inside your head. You weren't taught algebra to get two trains to meet. Your brain was trained to detect patterns and discover methods for solving everyday problems. And your brain was trained to believe believe that you can find answers to just about anything, including things about two stupid trains. Consider this. If those two trains just go full speed until they see each other, it's very likely that they're going to crash and cause a huge mess of distorted metal and human carnage. Aaron, you switched from math to reading and back to math. Stick to the subject. Learning is learning. Do you really think that I am just talking about math or reading or science or history or art? How do people learn? By practice. That's it. You want to learn the name of all the stars? You have to practice. You want to learn how to survive skydiving? You had better practice before you try it. I will say that. You want to learn to cook? Belly dance? Take care of rhinos? Duplicate the Mona Lisa? There are professionals who can do all of those things and more. Are there things beyond your phone that you want to learn how to do, but you're not sure that you can? You're holding a really awesome device to take the first steps. Do some research. Learn how other people do what you want to do. Find out how they learn to do it, especially if it's something dangerous. I watched a high diver the other day, and I know that she took smaller leaps first, but now she's breaking records. It takes steps. It takes practice. It takes courage. What can you learn to do? What have you learned to do already? If you're not ready to take the baby steps because they're too boring to learn, your trains might crash. You might not open your parachute in time, or a rhino might eat you before you learn to take care of it. You can't learn math? Yes, you can. You already have. You know math that baffles scientists. And your brain learned that math the same way that you learn everything, by practice. So, research it, figure it out, and then practice. I know you can do it.